Hello, Namaste and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss an important yet often misunderstood provision of GST law, that is section 161 of CGST Act, which pertains to rectification of errors. Why I decided to take up this issue for this video was I am coming across a lot of cases where an order is passed against an assessee and he chooses to go under section 161, that is he applies for rectification of order instead of choosing to go for an appeal under section 107 of CGST Act. This is primarily done because there is no pre-deposit requirement under rectification of order under section 161, unlike when you go for an appeal. We understand that an assessee might be having genuine financial issues in making that pre-deposit if he chooses to go for an appeal. However, my concern is that completely disregarding the facts of the case, is it a sound practice to blindly go for section 161 rectification of orders while missing the appeal opportunity window? How does it impact the client in long run? To answer this question, we need to ask ourselves whether rectification is a substitute for an appeal or is it merely an alternative? How does it work? Please understand and appreciate this. Rectification is not a substitute for an appeal. It can never be, because the scope of section 161, rectification of errors, is very, very narrow as compared to appeal provision. Section 161 allows the GST officer to rectify any errors in orders passed by him, decision made, notice, summons, if such errors are evident from the face of record. This brings me to my next question. What do you mean by error evident from face of record? There can be no one precise definition for this term, because it would depend on facts of each particular case. Except in rare cases, it is possible to argue from both the sides. An assessee can say there is error evident from the face of record, and department can argue no, there is not. But the catena of judgments that have come till date at least establishes that error evident from face of record does not include those errors where there is involved a lot of discussion, debate, or possibility of many interpretations. Let's understand this with the help of an example. You appear before an adjudicating authority. You submit a precedent, a provision of law. Now, adjudicating authority completely disregards this provision of law or the precedent cited by you, but he records reasons for the same in his order. In such a case, you must go to an appeal and not under section 161, because this is an erroneous decision. He had submitted his reasons for rejecting the precedent or the provision of law cited by you. This can only be taken care of when you go for an appeal. Only an appellate authority can look into it whether the adjudicating authority was right in doing so or not. However, on the second hand, you appear before adjudicating authority, you cite a case or a provision of law, and when the final order comes, you see there is no whisper about the same. Now, in this case, you can apply under section 161 rectification of orders because there is error evident on face of record that is completely ignoring and disregarding the provision of law. So that is how it would depend on facts of the case that which route is better for the client. At this juncture, before going any further, let me discuss a case that we dealt before Honorable Sested. In this case, we had filed an ROM application. Let me briefly explain how this case progressed. There were two issues involved in this case. First issue was pertaining to classification dispute of flushing systems in urinals and WC. The systems that we were dealing with had sensors installed in them to control the automatic flow of water depending on when hand is placed near the tap or removed. The issue was whether this system would fall under 9032 dealing with pressure controlled valves or tariff heading 8481 dealing with taps, etc. The rate of duty was higher under tariff heading 9032. So this brings me to the second issue involved in the case, that is demand of differential duty and penalty alleging suppression under section 11 AC. Our appeal in tribunal was rejected. Hence we had filed for ROM. When ROM was taken up, we urged that the chapter note was not discussed while deciding the classification by the lower authorities, and this was our main ground in the appeal. But the same is not mentioned even in the final orders passed by the Honorable Tribunal. The Tribunal was reluctant to consider this as error apparent from the face of record. Then we pressed on the second argument that this is a bona fide classification dispute, and also the demand has been raised based on regular periodical returns. Therefore, there is no ingredient to allege suppression under section 11 AC. But this argument has also not been discussed and mentioned in the final orders. Now, the second argument was accepted by the tribunal and the order was recalled for rectification. When the order was recalled, Mr. Bharat Bhushan, my senior, argued that now that order has been recalled, it is a fresh hearing and entire order needs to be reconsidered, even the classification dispute argument. This plea of Mr. Bhushan was accepted and finally we got the relief in favor of our client. The classification was changed to tariff heading 8481 from 9032 and consequential relief was provided to the client. The learning from this case is that to get an order recalled for rectification, you will have to show some error evident from face of from record. Once you do it, an order is recalled, then you can argue the entire matter. However, if the authority finds that your prayer for rectification is not justified, there is no error evident on face of record, it can simply reject your application without even affording you personal hearing. Now clients come up to us where they had applied for rectification under section 161 and their rectification application has been rejected. To make matters worse, the time period to file an appeal has also expired. What is the remedy available to such clients? Whether they can still go for an appeal? Even if they can go for an appeal, what is the scope of that appeal? It is true that section 107, which talks about appeal, reads that one can file an appeal against any order or decision passed under this act. So yes, even an appeal can be filed against the rejection of rectification application order. But what is the scope of that appeal? If you file an appeal against order rejecting your rectification application, the scope of appeal would be strictly restricted to the fact that whether the authority was justified in rejecting your rectification application. Please appreciate that. If your appeal period against order in original has expired, then if you want to challenge order in original under an appeal, that cannot be done at this stage, because the period, the limitation to file an appeal against order in original has already expired. Now the appeal that you are filing against rejection of your rectification application order is very narrow in scope, only whether the authority was justified in rejecting your application or not. You cannot challenge the order in original in such an appeal. Some may argue that doctrine of merger is applicable here. The order in original gets merged with the rejection of rectification application order. But that is not the case. Because please understand that. What does doctrine of merger basically means? It means that when an appellate authority passes an order, then automatically the lower authority orders get merged with the superior authority's order. In other words, lower authority's order has no standing at all. It cannot stand alone. Now it is merged with the superior authority's order. For example, you file an appeal against trial court's order before a high court, and high court passes a judgment in that case. Now trial court's order gets merged with high court's order. That is doctrine of merger. But please appreciate that in case of rectification of errors under section 161, the scope is very limited. If the GST authority feels that there is an error evident on record, either on its own motion or based on an application filed by an aggrieved party, or if it is brought to their notice by an officer appointed by the Act, then they can rectify that error. It is the same authority who passed that order who will rectify this error. It is not any superior authority. Passed under section 161 is a stand-alone order from order in original, and it is on a very limited ground. Therefore, I urge that be very, very mindful in deciding the route that you want to take. If you want to go under section 167 or you want to file an appeal, be very mindful. Don't just think about the gain that you will have in short run, that is saving the pre-deposit, but think of it as a long-term marathon. How it will impact you in the long run. Whether your case actually is a fit case to apply for rectification of order. Whether there is actually any error evident from face of record that you can go under rectification application. If not, please go under appeal. If you miss that bus, there is no U-turn allowed. That's it for this video. I'll see you in another one. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.